Alright, we're playing around with some pretty serious camera issues. I got some new cameras on Goodwill, and I'm not sure if they're any good at all. Alright, so here's my plan. I gotta take off that little bolt right there and get into that wheel to see what's inside. I'll let you know when I find it. Well, we're in here. It was just a simple bolt. What do they call it? A shoulder bolt. It's got yourself an unthreaded thicker section here, and then the threads go in there and stick. But the shoulder makes so that it doesn't go in so much that it tightens on the wheel. The wheel serves as its own bearing, so I'm going to put some more grease in there. And then there's a track here in which this guy rolls. Oh gosh, lighting is poor there. Anyway, that guy is wonderful and steel and strong. Seems to have a pin here. So it's going to spin and whatever. It's locked up now. And on the other side, we have the same issue. The other side, we have the same issue. It's a lot rustier over here, but it still isn't, it's not pinching over here. It's not the wheel that's the problem. So I now need to open up this gearbox in here. That's going to be kind of fun. The gearbox seems to be what's pinching, or maybe something else is happening. I mean, I guess there's a little bearing right there that could, right in the middle there, that could be clogged up. Well, I'll report back when I know. Well, underneath this pulley here was just a post, so I'm thinking I actually have to flip the whole thing over. These guys are just holding this onto the frame, so I need to access it from the bottom and maybe repack it with grease. While I was removing this, though, I did manage to get it to turn a little bit, and that's just telling me that this is like really rough, but not ruined. Well, alright, here's the big unveiling. I don't know what's in here yet. This is the gearbox that switches one direction to another. Wow, it does not look that bad. There's the inside of it. Some grease. All right. And then, oh my gosh, it's all nice. Holy cow. Let's see if I can get some of the light to come in. Wow, yeah, I cannot fathom why that's not spinning. It looks beautiful. Doesn't that look beautiful? Holy cow. So is it just rusty over here? I mean, this is the rust spot. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get... Wow, it's so stuck, though. Doesn't make any sense. I'm going to put some oil here and over here. And then I'm going to spin around a whole bunch and see if that frees it up. I got to put this back together because this is wonderful. Totally functional in here. And then I'm gonna go to I'm just gonna grease up those spots, and oh sorry, I'm gonna put the pulley back on top, and once I've got that pulley, I've got a bolt that I can use to work it left and right. Yeah, wish me luck. Well, I've stumbled upon what I think is the most ingenious ratcheting mechanism I've ever seen. Please consider that three-way slice thing here. When a pin pushes on one, okay, sorry, this is going to be really hard for me to explain because I'm not any good at this. Notice that it spins freely this direction and it sticks immediately the other direction. Look at that. Immediately sticks, and then it'll stick here, but it'll go back. It goes a third of a rotation and then it begins to stick again at the next rotation. See, I get stuck there and then I get stuck there. And that's because the pin that's right here, this pin that you see, slides up and down. And it's pushed by the guide on this sucker. It's pushed so that it's not sticking out this side, and then it is sticking out here, but then it's ramped up on this side, so it's not sticking up then. If you're turning this direction, where the pins are, where the pins are encountering this direction. But if your pins encounter this, boom, that's a wall, and it's pushed up on the other side, right? So that's it. You're stuck there. So this isn't enabling us to drive the mower when the drive is engaged, and to just ratchet all day long when the drive is not engaged. And I know that the other wheel doesn't have this free play right here, so I'm going to get some liquid wrench on that and see if I can get that repaired. But that doesn't seem to solve the entire thing for me because I can't even rotate that wheel. Like, this shaft also should rotate. Well, it's okay, it's rough, but it did move. I actually saw that. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so that's hard, but I can move the other one by hand. And I think it's just because those pins aren't slipping. So it's got to move the whole gearbox backwards, which is not something it's designed to do. If you're rolling forward, it's supposed to just allow it, and the gearbox isn't supposed to undrive, and the only power enough to drive the gearbox is this, this belt right here. So that belt being the one that goes over here to the gearbox itself. Okay, so I'm going to put this wheel back on because this guy's ratcheting just fine. Wee, wee, wee all the way home, but then thunk, stops the other direction. And I'm going to try to get the other one to that performance and then sew it all up together. Well, in fact, in addition to needing a bunch of liquid wrench, an actual hammer and cold chisel to free out that pin, so it does slide back and forth, right? I'll show you in a second. The position where it was in this guy was rusted out, and so there's a little pit in this thing, and so it's still not ratcheting properly. So I'm going to kind of clean this out haphazardly and then coat it with a bunch of oil or grease or something, and then get that ratchet working. So let's go over here and see the what do we have here? Oh, this pin. Now this pin's so pretty. Look at this. Whoop, whoop. It's gross, but it pushes with the tiniest of forces. I can barely feel that it's there. Yay! So it should ratchet really well, but as you see here, slip that on there and it gets caught. I need to clean that off because it actually, that bearing is the shaft itself, but it's getting stuck without the ratchet there. See, I can move the other wheel. Oh, just barely. That's hard. And this direction should ratchet, but at one of them it sticks. It's at that one right there. So I'll pin that off. Yeah, and so when the pin is on the bottom